10 seconds, we had coyotes in our lap. And I dumped the first two, and my buddy, he dumped one. And I just hit my hot button and went to Pound Town, and it was all heck broke loose. They was coyotes. We had a coyote run through, knock the call over. We had two come in from behind us, and I'm trying to get my gun reloaded because I've done emptied it. And I throwed two more shells in, and there was a wad of them just come in, just pups. And I pulled the trigger till the gun was empty, and he shot a couple times. And when it was all said and done, we picked up 6.
Welcome to the Alpha Outside Podcast, where the dark ain't the end of the day, it's just the beginning. Around here, we dive into the gear, the strategies, and the real stories from the field. No fluff, no hype, just straight talk from folks who live it. Brought to you by Alpha Outside, your go-to source for top-tier thermal night hunting equipment. If it happens after dark, we're on it. From expert tips and battle-tested optics to the kind of hunting wisdom you won't hear anywhere else, Alpha Outside. Whether you're seasoned or just getting started, this is where serious night hunters get the insight they need to stay sharp, shoot straight, and hunt smart. So grab your rig, settle in, and let's get after it. This is the Alpha Outside Podcast. And now your host, Chad Ammon.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 9 of the Alpha Outside Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Annan, and today we brought on Isaac Smith. How you doing, Isaac?
Doing great, Chad. How you doing, brother?
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Isaac. What have you been into lately, and what's your everyday life for you look like?
Oh, man, here lately it's been turkeys. Coyote season closed here about right here at the end of March, and had everybody wanting to come in and turkey hunt. And of course, we hunt a few different states, so we've been up and down the road. And we own a pest control company. My family does. My grandpa started it back in the 80s. So I took on that, and we get up every morning about 4 o'clock, and we'll turkey hunt, take people hunting, take a few kids out, try to get them some birds, and we start working about 8 o'clock and work till about 4. And then I come in and try to hunt a little bit for myself. But it's been pretty hectic. Season's been open in Tennessee. Started about 3 weeks ago for us adults, and then kids was the week before, and we've been wide open. I think I've watched 13 birds die so far. So
Yeah.
we've had we've had a pretty wild. We've had some adventures so far this year.
Coyotes, man. You guys have a night season on those, right?
Yeah, we from coming up here. I have to look at the date for sure. I haven't looked because we've been so wrapped up on turkeys. But I think this year. I think it opens the 10th of May, and it goes to August. And then during our deer season, it's closed until after our main rifle season. It's closed during the rut because you get a lot of guys around here that like to ride around with thermal and shoot
Yeah.
deer at night. And then it comes back in December 1st and runs till March 31st.
Okay, well, that's not as bad as I thought it was a lot shorter than.
No, it used to be pretty short. You know what people's told me, it was like a couple months just during the winter. I'm not, of course, I just started thermal hunting 4 years ago. So
Yeah, well, and do you night hunt Tennessee too, or is there a.
it's so technically you can't use a rifle at night in Tennessee.
I got you.
You have to get, of course, I've done the whole deal. Like you have to have permission from your local wildlife officer. Then you got to get written landowner permission. It has to be a nuisance
Mm-hmm.
before you can legally go shoot them. So, but we've got our local Tennessee fishing game. They're pretty cool. That'll work with like. Of course, I pass a bunch of cards out. Most time, Tennessee, I'm just shotgun and rifle set up on. If I take a rifle, I'm setting up on a crop field where I can shoot, 300 to 600 yards, anywhere like that. But that'll work with you. We've got like 6 or 7 feedlots that we can go night hunt. But you gotta, it can be a pain, because you got to notify everybody and they got to know where you're at, and it's aggravating. But m- most of the night stuff is in Kentucky, which we're trying to get it changed in Tennessee. That way we can just go night hunt like
Yeah,
everybody else.
hopefully they'll change that. I sold to some guys in Tennessee, but I think a lot of these guys hunt Virginia. They're on the Virginia line, and they just hunt Virginia.
Yeah, a lot of the guys I hunt with are from Tennessee, and they
Yeah.
actually linked me up with some of the guys that uh, have the farms we hunt on, the big feedlots and stuff. And I got them into night hunting because I always hunted by myself, and I got them to. They all hate me now because I've got them to spend about 10 grand on scopes and
Yeah.
rifles and tripods and calls and
Hey,
stuff.
trust me, I know the feeling.
Oh yeah, it gets expensive quick, but
Yeah. A lot of guys hate me too for spending their money.
yeah.
What what kind of equipment are you using at night?
I'm running a Knockpix Ryco 2, and I'm running on a custom bolt gun. Right, running a 22 250
Yep.
right now.
RH50R?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what this box is right here actually. I have one
yeah,
too. I'm using one right now too.
yeah.
Um, I have it on 22 Creedmoor. On my 22 250, I have a Bolt 60.
Okay.
But
Ross, he runs the Bolt 60.
yep, 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 exactly. You said 22 250. What kind of gun you have that in?
It's a 700 action. It's built. I've got it in a XRS chassis, and
Those are nice.
it's a more of a bench,
Oh
more
yeah,
of a.
the MDT
Yes,
XRS.
sir.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
excellent.
Those are nice. I like the grip
I
on
like
those.
it. It's heavy. Of course, I like a heavy rifle, more up toward 20 pounds.
Yeah, you're right, man. I have a lighter 22 250 I built, and my Creed's heavy, and I can shoot that Creed a lot better off a tripod,
Yeah,
being heavy.
I mean, I'm no like sharpshooter, but I mean, I shoot a lot, like especially distance. We've got some big power lines. Of course, I'm sure y'all the same way. There, it'll be a big valley, and you'll have two hillsides like 700 800 yards apart. We've got targets set up on them, and of course, a lot of times here you'll have to shoot one. Sometimes, most coyotes, I can get them within 100, but a lot of times, especially when we hunt ag,
Hmm.
you'll have to shoot one, 300 400. I've shot them out to 600, but I'd rather have one at 50, just personal preference. But
Yeah, you shoot 'em at 600 at night.
I've shot two at
Have you?
600.
Nice. Heck yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I've shot
Smoking.
at more, but I've killed two at 600.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's good. Is the population really high in your area?
It's more right here where I'm at. I mean, I probably couldn't go every night and kill one, but
Mm. All right.
as long as I say that if I go and locate the week before, and I kind of got a mental reference on where they're at, I could probably go make a couple stands every night and call a coyote. It may not kill it, but I'll see a coyote.
Mm-hmm.
But now, once you go, a lot of our spots we do when we do our tournament, especially in the wintertime, we go up north a couple hours. It's real flat, and it's just crazy. Like we'll kill 12, 15 a night
Yeah.
sometimes.
Heck yeah.
Of course, right around the house, if you kill 5 or 6, you're doing pretty good.
Right, right. That's how it is here. You know, as you know, Ross. You know how many he kills. You know, it.
He's consistent. He's
Yeah.
consistent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He's a killer. He's a good shot.
We rag each other a bunch, but
There's nothing
he,
wrong with
he
that.
he I ain't gonna blow his head up too much. Brianna, his wife will kill me if I get him
Yeah.
too fired
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I don't know him well enough yet to rag on him, but we talk a good bit.
Yeah, that's the thing with coyote hunting. I've met so many people. Like me and Ross have never like physically like talked to one another, but I talk to him 3 or 4 times every day. I have for almost like a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. I talk to him about every day too. Seems like anyway.
Yeah, yeah. We we've got about 2.5 more weeks and coyote season will be back in. So we'll be back. We'll be back doing some night stuff. I don't fool with them a whole lot unless they have a tournament right now at night
Yeah.
because it's a little bit easier if you know where close to where a den site is to get in there, and kill that female. I'm all about killing them. I like to let them have their pups and then go
Yeah.
in there in the daytime, but it's personal preference. But you'll hear people say that they hate coyotes, and I don't hate them. I love calling them. It just I love it.
Now, is your daytime season in year round?
Yes, sir. We can hunt. We can hunt anytime during daytime.
Okay.
Year round. So
And you're more about that, right?
I kill a lot more at night. I feel like that. I mean, a lot of people, anybody that calls pretty good. You'll have more success at night. I just feel they're more active at night. But I kill pretty regular the daytime. Not like Chad Burke and Greg and Tori and them guys. I mean, they stomp them in the daytime. And I didn't hunt as hard last year daytime. I think I killed 36 daytime coyotes last year, and 34 of them was with a shotgun. 2 of them was with a rifle. So
All local around your house? Are you traveling to do that, or?
I traveled one time and then was both, and I killed 2 on that trip. I went and hunted with a buddy, Justin Johnson, up in Western Kentucky, and we hunted a day and a night. I think we killed 8. It was just a bad night. It was cold. Wind was blowing 30 mile an hour, and I shot 2 in the daylight, just about hour and a half before dark, and then we killed the rest of them at night. But it's an hour and 45 minutes to his place. But most time daytime, I just hunt local because these hills and hollers, it seems like it holds them a little tighter, especially when they're having pups and busting up. If you can get on a family group in a little holler system, you can kind of bounce around and kill all of them. As long as you know where you're at.
Yes, let's talk about your daytime hunting a little bit, and if you don't mind giving some tips and secrets out. But
Oh no.
yeah, getting close is probably the main goal, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Getting in as tight as you can.
Yeah, you got to be in that bubble, man, or it just you'll kill a few, but your success rate just goes down a lot.
You think is it 100 yards or is it a little further than that?
I think that depends on the coyote. A lot of times I've seen them that like we located one night. Of course, I've got till now. A lot of times I'll get up at 3ish in the morning, especially like if we're hunting a day tournament. I'll get up in the morning times because they're going. I feel like they're closer. I mean, they're going to be there tight to where they're staying. At that time, they're getting ready for daylight and they're going to be laid up in the timber somewhere. So I'll get up and we'll just ride the roads and we'll hit. We might run 100-mile loop and just run sirens or howls. Just anything make one answer. I'll try to get it just to. Of course, I run Onyx and HuntWise, and we run a few different apps on our phones and computer. My brother-in-law, he's got a little deal on his phone. He can. I can't hear too well. I have a bad ear, can't hear nothing. So I take him with me, and he's like, "That coyote's right here." And I've got decent at it now. being able to tell distance. I don't have good depth perception, but I can tell within about 200 yards of where they're at. And then I usually I'll start about 100 yards back off where I think that bubble is. And I'll go in there and I'll just go in there and right off the bat, I'll just rip a howl. And if they answer,
They usually answer back at that.
yeah, I don't like to just get right in on top of them and rip a howl because sometimes it'll shut them up. You kind of they don't really know what's going on. And plus, too, a lot of times this time of year, them females got puppies and they don't want to give themselves away to, especially a stranger. If me or you, stranger comes in the house holler, you're gonna kind of get quiet and want to see who it is. So, but I like to start back off of them, rip a couple howls, and if they don't if they don't answer, I may sit there for a minute and just listen and rip another howl, and then I may move up 50 yards and
Yeah,
let another howl. And then when I start getting in there where I know they're there close, and if I know I ain't bumped them or they ain't booger barked or something, I'll get down in there and I might play some social sounds, just something light. And a lot of times, when you get in there, you get them to howl. Most time, if you get them to howl, you've got them killed. I feel like. If they don't answer, you just kind of gotta. I'll play with them for 20 minutes, or I'll leave them alone and come back.
they usually come in pretty hard when they come, or they sneak in.
Around here, it seems like a lot more that I've killed. Of course, a lot of the places I hunt summertime is cutovers and tornado timber. And a lot of times you'll have one, unless you're running like creek beds and stuff. If you get in some creek beds, I hunted some places last year, and one of the best stands I ever had. We killed 6 on one stand.
Did you?
It was a whole family group. There were 3 adults and 3 pups. I think there was 9 altogether, from what I could tell from what was going on, and there was 3 or 4 coyotes booger barking after it was all said and done. But we got down in a big dry creek bed, and we're just easing down through there, and the coyote howled on its own, like just like 12 o'clock in the day, just blasted. And they were about 250, and I was about to set up, and they howled, and I just slipped in about another 100 yards and sat down. And I think I played like birthday pups or something, and they just like 10 seconds. We had coyotes in our lap, and I dumped the first 2, and my buddy he dumped one. And I just hit my hot button and went to Pound Town, and it was all heck broke loose. They was coyotes. We had a coyote run through, knock the call over. We had 2 come in from behind us, and I'm trying to get my gun reloaded because I've done emptied it. And I throwed 2 more shells in, and there was a wad of them just come in, just pups. And I pulled the trigger till the gun was empty, and he shot a couple times, and when it was all said and done, we picked up 6. So it got a little wild, but
Yeah, a little western there. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a day you'll never forget for sure.
oh yeah, man, it's great. But yeah, I've had a couple stands like that, but a lot of times, I'll be sitting there about the 10, 12, sometimes even 15, 20 minutes, and you'll just kind of catch a glimpse, and then you'll have one come slipping in. I don't, I don't get aggressive. I don't know how, because there's some good fights like Pound Town and No Calls, and there's some Tony Tebby stuff I run sometimes, Den Digger and stuff like that. I know that happens in the wild because Corey he's got those live coyotes and recorded all that, but I don't know how often they really just all out just raise hell.
Yeah, make that kind of noise. You're right. It's probably not real often.
I feel like you got to find the right. Now a lot of them will trigger to it, especially if you've done killed one and you hit that sound and it just does something to them. but I don't know. I try not to get, especially if I've been there 20 minutes and I've not seen nothing, I don't get just real hot and heavy with it. Unless I can see that coyote or it starts booger barking and I'm just wanting to get a reaction, I don't usually play nothing too crazy.
Does that hold true when you hunt at night too?
I get a little bit more amped up at night. I can go 40 minutes from my house and it's more flat, just slight rolling hills, and it ain't just overrun, but that you'll find a lot of pockets. Like there'll be 4 or 5 farms, and now you'll call a coyote on every one. You may go hit the next 5 and not hear one, and then you'll just get on a streak of them. But I get, especially breeding time, like I'll start out, just like little bee whimpers, greeting wines, just to kind of, or, maybe a distress or something. Just if there's a cow within a couple 100 yards just laid up, try to get that one. But then, I'll run some howls. And then, especially like if I've got cows within 600, 700 yards, I'll kind of, I'll test that boundary. I want to see kind of, and I want to learn and kind of see what, especially at that time frame, because a lot of times, if I get a sequence that they're just burning it up to, I'll run it till it quits working, and I'll kind of get, especially like if I can see them and they lock up, like I'll just, and my buddies get mad when I do it because I've scared a few. I'll just hit Pound Town or
Yeah.
BMF or something like that, just something pretty wild. But a lot of times it works because they're, someone's in their house and they're gonna come see
Yeah.
eventually what it is. And a lot of times I feel like people don't give them enough time. Like me and Ross has talked about it. Of course, he wouldn't like hunting with me. I hunt fast, in my opinion. But Ross has told me he said an hour or more. Like
I've said an hour. Not many times, but 30 to 40 minutes every time.
yeah, I usually set about 35, something like that. Now when we're tournament hunting. I'm not always trying to get that colt that's hung up out there at 800. If I can't move to him or play pound town and him come, I don't want to burn 20 minutes going through the album and let him hear everything.
Yeah.
I'll leave. Most time, if I ain't got one killed in 15 minutes, I'm gonna roll on somewhere else. But in the daytime, sometimes I'll set, especially if I know there's coyotes in there, especially if they've answered me, I'll set an hour until I get one killed or they, just hush or, if they don't react. I don't overdo it though. I'll call and get quiet, and I'll play social sounds and pups, little pups until I'll try to find out something triggers them. There's a few sounds I play, social stuff. It just seems like they trigger better, but I kind of try to amp it up.
Your daytime, you acted like maybe you pause more in between some sounds.
I pause more because there's a boy I hunt with. He can hear a pin drop from 1,000 yards, and I can't. I have a perforated eardrum, and I can't hear. So I have, like, if I run a howl, as soon as it gets to the end, I pause. I don't, or like, especially like if there's breaks in it, I'll pause it because I want to, being it's key to be able. You got to be able to hear them,
Yeah.
especially like if I'm playing like I run submissive beggar a lot. It's kind of subtle, not too wild. I might run it a little bit and then I'll give it a break for just like 20 seconds just so I can listen, see if I hear one walking or running or, something like that. And you think about it, I think, coyotes, I think when they fight, especially like I've like listened to them at night. I actually last year got to listen to a pair, I watched them breed. And I mean, they were fighting. I mean, there for a second, it was all out war. And I mean, I had these coyotes at 150 yards, watched them for 20 minutes. I just wanted to watch them, see what they done. Because I mean, I can go back and call them coyotes in. They would fight for 45 seconds, and he would try to lock with her, and then they would pause and just kind of sit there and watch each other, and she would yip, and he would kind of whine around, and then they'd go back, and then they'd quit. So I try to kind of break it up. Of course, a lot of Tory stuff has a lot of natural pauses in it, but I try to break my sounds up so I can hear what's going on.
Was that breeding during February time frame?
It was around Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
right in there.
Yep.
We were hunting the Wildcat Classic. We have a big tournament every year. It's our kind of like our state coyote tournament. It's
Uh-huh.
They give away several $1,000s, guns, scopes, a lot of stuff like that. They'll have about 200 something teams, I think, what they had last year. I might be a little high, but I just rough ballpark.
So you was in a tournament and you watched coyotes breed. Did you shoot them?
Oh yeah, we shot them. I just kind of we done had what we needed killed, you know. But it was a five heaviest dog, which if anybody asks me about it, I'm not a fan. I think it should be the most coyotes because when it gets down to and I mean this is just me saying I ain't trying to hurt no one's feelings, but I think if you're gonna have a tournament, it ought to be the most coyotes because they done. I've been aggravated before, Went out and shot. One night we killed 11, and it was a heaviest three contest, and we got beat by 4 ounces.
Yeah. It's usually
Uh,
how it works.
and the people that won it, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them. I mean, they were newer hunters, but they killed three and beat us. I mean, that 4 ounces is shooting a coyote and it bleeding a little bit. I mean, that's just what it's down to. But it turns into a luck. I feel like more than skill.
Back to your daytime hunting. Do you have a special load shell that you shoot?
Well, before tungsten got ridiculous, I shot a lot of Apex and I ran, but then I started. I believe his name is Robert Bunzy. He does faded Raven munitions. I shot a lot of his stuff. The first year I shotgunned, I killed 31, 32 coyotes, and I shot all of them with his load. So and now I run just I got some stuff and got it at like dealer cost at the NWTF. It's Rocky Ridge. I shoot Rocky Ridge ammo now, and I like it. I've shot one coyote with it. We went right after NWTF and made a stand that weekend, that Sunday evening, and I called one up, and it actually hung up about. It was 71 steps, and it normally I don't. I'll shoot at them that far, but it's kind of like me and my turkeys. I like them to come in to me. So, but it killed him. He never twitched. He was dead.
Like a two shot tungsten?
Man, I would have to look. Most time I run 2x4s. I think these were straight twos.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I like a blended load. I run a little bit tighter choke.
Okay.
So
Fully automatic shotgun?
yes, sir. I like an automatic for coyotes, especially like where I hunt. A lot of fallen timber, real thick,
Yeah.
overgrown. A lot of shrubbery and stuff. Especially if you get multiples, it's just hard to get. You can do it. I mean, I've got buddies that's all I hunt with, so old 870, and they hammer. But I like an automatic. Fast as I can pull the trigger.
Yeah. You ever kill any collar phase many down there? Black ones or?
My brother-in-law has killed probably six black ones, and I've killed a smoke phased one, and I have killed a chocolate like tricolor phased dog, and I have shot a black one. I shot a black one 2 years ago. I've actually shot two black ones. I just flipped out when they come in and rushed, and I shot them. I hit both of them, but they both are still alive. So about 10 minutes from my house. There's a three-legged black coyote running around that I shot his leg off. So he was coming in like 45 minutes before dark. Had plenty of daylight. Sixth Creed, he was like running. He got to 300, and I wolfed at him. Like I don't know why. And I just, I put it on him, and I jerked it and hit him low in the shoulder and blowed his leg off. But we have a few color phase. There's a boy up here about 45 minutes from me. He's killed two or three color phase coyotes, and I mean, I'll bump into one eventually, but
They're around here too. We have them. They're not plentiful, but there there's a few. About everybody besides myself. About everybody I know has shot one, at least one.
I killed one night. It was smoke face, like gray, like smoky gray, and it had white legs and a white, like not like a two pointer, like half its tail was white. It had like a bald white looking face. It was cool, but it had mange. It was actually a 44-pound female. It was a big
Wow.
female.
What's the biggest one you shot that you've weighed?
53.4.
Really?
Yeah. I killed a male. I killed a big male in Western Kentucky. Of course, feel like the farther north you go, the bigger your coyotes tend to get. Around here, you're 35 pounds average. I mean, I've killed a 48.9 in my backyard. Just big. Oh, I had we have a Hunters for the Hungry program where we can shoot does and take them to them, and I had shot some does and got them all the meat off of them and dumped the carcasses, and this thing is dragging the carcass across the field. He decided to sit down and howl in the middle of the field, and I heard him out my window in my bathroom, and I ran out there, and he just sitting out there. He sat there and looked at me long enough for me to run back in and get my tripod and gun and shoot him.
Coyotes around here, the average is about probably 33 pounds.
Mhm.
Anything over 40, I would consider big.
Oh yeah, I watch old Neil Ops, and you'll watch him. They'll shoot some freaking tank coyotes, but they're sitting there eating dead calves all day, so they probably all the steroids and stuff from the feeder
Yeah,
calves are just
yeah, you're right.
bodybuilders. We get some big coyotes around here. We killed one just right down the road, the farm I hunt. It's just a funnel. They don't stay there. It's hit or miss, but usually there's a big creek system on one side, and then there's a feedlot on the other side, kind of going back to them feeding on calves, and they kind of work through their back and forth. And the last 3 or 4 we killed in there, they were all 40, 41, 42 pounds. Do y'all have a lot of bobcats there?
Our bobcat populations declined. We did in the early 2000s to 2010 was probably our peak. It seems like since about 2010, since it's went down. We can kill at the time. We could kill two. I'm pretty sure it's three now.
Ours is three here also.
We are not allowed to shoot them at night in West Virginia,
We ain't either. It's daytime only.
and a lot of people don't know that. I have a lot of guys come in, to buy scopes, and they'll be like, "Hey, look at this," and I'm like, "You might not want to show anybody else that." And they're like, "Why?" And I tell them why, and they're like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, right here. Read the." Because actually, if you read the West Virginia regulations, it just says what you're allowed to shoot at night, and it doesn't say what you're not allowed to shoot. So, it states skunk, possum, raccoon, fox, coyote, and bobcat's not included. And I think people just think that since it's a predator like a fox or a coyote, that you're allowed to shoot cats at night, but we're not. But yeah, our population went down. We don't see them like we used to. We don't kill them like we used to. And like I say, I was talking the last podcast. I bow hunt in Ohio. They're protecting Ohio. They're
So no bobcats in Ohio.
no bobcats in Ohio, and they are absolutely loaded.
Really?
Yeah, I see cats every archery season, and my trail cameras are loaded with them, and as many as three at one time out of the tree stand.
In Illinois, I hunted public up there last year, which that's a story for a different time. That was miserable. It was hot. Deer wasn't moving, But I seen in 5 days, I seen six bobcats. Just, of course, up there they have I think I've watched John talk about it, or maybe Joey Worth, and I think it's the Bobcat Lottery or something. You have to draw,
Okay.
and you get one. And I think they only draw maybe 100 tags. So you're only, I mean, that's per state. And I mean, Illinois is big, so. And there's lots of bobcats. Every time I go up there, I see one hunting or what, or see one from the road. Every time. I think there was a week left in our season for bobcats. Of course, we have a bobcat season, and it starts. I'd have to look. I think it's in December sometime, and it goes to like toward the end of February. But I killed one a week the weekend before season closes. I finally shotgunned one. I had never got to do that before. I've killed a button like a lot. I'll get on a roll where I'll just go and say I'm going to shotgun a cat, and every time I seem like I do that, about 30 seconds of squeaky squeaky, a coyote will come running over top of me. And I killed it about 500 yards from my back porch. I seen it cross the field, give it about an hour, and I went back there and looped around and got the wind right. And I called about 15 minutes. It come up over a log and jumped and just sat down in front of the call. And I was not ready. I had my gun propped up on my shoulder, just sitting back, and I shot it. Of course, it was 10 steps. It nearly cut it in half. But
Good thing about them, they don't usually get out real quick. Like they'll kind of hiccup on you. And
they'll look at you,
yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
He thought the barrel on that Benelli was a limb blown in the wind or something.
How big of a cat was that?
22 pounds. It wasn't a giant cat, but it was a decent sized cat.
You guys' cat spotted up pretty good, or
I got one hanging on the wall, and he was real ticked up looking. Of course, he was. I've always wanted one like the full leopard spotted whole body. He wasn't. He was still rabbit back, but he like all of his stomach and down his sides and the back of his legs was real spotted. He was pretty. I killed him. It was actually the first time. See, I started out hunting with mouth calls. I mean, and I had a little bitty like Primo's electronic call, and I'd kill 15 a year, and I thought I was just, I thought I was something. I mean, I was 12, 13-year old. I mean, that was cool.
yeah, there's not too many 12, 13-year-olds killing that many a year. Maybe, probably none.
Yeah. And then my wife's parents, they give me some money for Christmas, and me and her went to Cabela's or something. I just walked by, and there was a Icotech G350 Pro or something like that. I still got it. It had like 50 sounds on it. And I seen that, and I'm like, I don't want that. She's like, what are you gonna do with that? And I'm like, I'm gonna hunt. She's like, I did. Of course, me and her had been dating for just a little bit at the time. She's like, I didn't know you even liked it. And I was like, oh, I love it. I just have never really ran a good. Of course, my little Primos, I took it out one time, and I'm like, this is awful. And I got that, and the first time I went out, I just drove the truck up to the gate. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I just, we'd hand call. We'd walk way back in there and sit in the timber, but I'd watched all these videos, these guys with these electronic calls, and I thought they was God's gift to the world. I jumped the gate, walked 20 yards from the truck, and sat down next to a big oak. Turned the call on. It was a rabbit. I had no idea what this is. Icotech rabbit distress. In like 45 seconds, that cat come running up over the hill. Of course, I wasn't good at stopping him either. I shot him running. He was running straight on at the call, and it actually weighed 32 pounds. It was a pretty good sized cat. But I'm ready to get back at it. I get, of course, it seems like toward the end of night season, of course, we hunt. and we hunt every night. I mean, between the three of us that hunt regular together, we killed close to 300 last year.
I was going to ask you that. How many? 300.
It's like 290 between the three of us. I killed 125, 126, I think. I'd have to look. I got a little old sheet. I put a mark on every time I kill one.
That includes your daytime.
Oh yeah, I do. Of course, I'll write. I'll just draw a line and put daytime, nighttime. Shotgun, rifle, and I'll mark it. That's how I kind of keep up with that stuff. I mean, that stuff. I mean, it's got. I mean, I still care about how many I kill. I kind of try to keep a note of it, but it's not like when I first started. When I, was getting to where I was getting consistent, I was like, I'm gonna kill all these things and post them on Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
all this, and kind of show off. But now I've done it. I've not hunted about 4 years now, and I'll kill 20 and I'll just unload them all at one time on Facebook. I don't care. It ain't got it as important to me to show off to them.
Right. Yeah.
I used to get on there and post the sound, how long the stand was, and this and that, and then all my neighbors started buying MFK edition X24s, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this no more.
Nope. Yeah, you learn pretty quick. I see that happens to a lot of people. They'll show off when they start getting consistent like that. They'll start posting, and it's cool at first. And when you realize that you're helping everybody else and hurting yourself, it you kind of slack off and just kind of become a little more recluse with it.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some kids that I took. Actually, one of them I took him. I ain't gonna say his name on here, but I took him turkey hunting opening day, and he killed his first turkey, and he was so excited. But about 2 weeks before our season closed, I took him coyote hunting, and it was windy and it was muggy, and I was just they wasn't answering, and we'd been there like 20 minutes, hadn't heard a peep, and I throwed it. I think I played like crackjack or something like that, just like as loud as it would go. And it was like 15 seconds. They was one come run as hard as one could. To 50 yards, I got him stopped and I missed him. Missed, missed the crap out of him. And shot him running about 150 yards. And of course, he's sitting there watching all this through my scanner, and he's just ecstatic. And then we sat there for a minute or two. I hit Pound Town, and I'm sitting there. Of course, he was wanting to carry my gun, so I'm unloading my gun. He said, "There's another one." I'm like that. I was like, "I've done shot twice. There ain't no coyote standing out here." And I looked, and there was one sitting there chewing on the one I just killed.
Is that right?
Yeah, I turned around, got on it, shot it. He said, "You got him." And I just sat there and kept kind of rolling with it for a minute. And we went to another spot, and the wind we had one coming in. I was going to let him shoot it. I got the tripod set down there for him, and it was coming just perfect. You could hear him down there click his safety on. I'd tell him, put that back on. He ain't close enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting tore up. I felt bad. The cow set down about 200, and he was wanting so bad to shoot him. And he would get up and come like 10 yards to sit, and I'd swap sounds, and he'd come. He got to 100, and I told him to kill him, and he no more than clicked the safety off, and the wind swirled, and he was gone.
Oh man, how old is this kid?
He's 14. He, never hunted before. Killed a deer or two, but never really hunted.
Uh huh. Yep.
Wanted to get into it. I do some work for his parents, and he wanted to go, and I know him pretty well, and they know me, so he asked me if I'd take him, and sure. I mean, that's the future of what we do. I mean, I'm not that old, but I mean, I'm still, I'm just always kids. I've had people, be like, and I usually don't tell nobody no, but there'll be times I'll just be like, I don't really have time or something. And like a kid, I don't ever really tell them no.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You don't want to tell a kid no.
Used to, I didn't. I could always cow hunt by myself because I didn't want no one to figure out what sounds I run or this or that or it. And I've got some places that I'm not the only one that hunts there, and they'll be like, "What'd you call that one in on?" I'm just like, I just clicked the first thing that popped up. I clicked on it. Here it comes. Just but like a kid, someone that's getting into it, learning, I don't care to help them. I mean, if me and you never helped nobody learn or never got nobody into it, it'll officially, eventually, it'll peter out after a while.
It'll go away. Yeah, it'll go away.
And they all the time trying to pass bills or laws where you can't not hunt or take out
Mm-hmm.
tournaments or put a limit on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no future to hunting, they'll pass it and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, that's right. When did Kentucky season come in? Does it come in after Tennessee?
It does. Tennessee come in the week before. Kentucky come in the 17th or 18th.
How many birds are you allowed to kill in each state?
Two in Kentucky and two in Tennessee.
Okay. Yep. And you can hunt all day in those states?
Yes, sir. We can hunt all day, from daylight till sunset. We can hunt.
See, West Virginia has a 1 o'clock out of the woods by 1 o'clock law.
Yeah, that's how Illinois is. We have a small farm in Illinois, and it's out of the woods by 1 o'clock. Which my favorite time to hunt's from about 10 to 3. So I never did like that too much. So
Yeah. How is your turkey population in that area? Is it really good, or has it been down for a few years?
it's been down until here about 4 years ago. We had a few good hatches, and this year we had a record. I think opening day. Don't I mean ballpark? I'm pretty sure opening day. I looked at the board and it was like 13,700 for opening day, which that was all time record for our state. So,
I know. I looked at the map down there. It's pretty flat area, right?
Western Kentucky and Northern Kentucky is.
Mm-hmm.
I live in South Central, and then I hunt a lot toward the eastern side of the state, and I've got family that lives out there. And then Tennessee, I hunt. Some of it's flat. We just got kind of a melting pot of different terrain. Like where I hunted this morning, it's flat, and then you'll drop a couple 100 feet, and then it's up and down. We walked about 7 miles this morning, I think altogether. It was pretty
Did you
rough.
walk 7 miles? That's a lot. That's why. That's a shed hunting day for me usually.
It's been wild. I killed my birds in Tennessee like the first 2 days, and then where they moved our season back, I killed one. Took four guys open day Kentucky, and they all killed except for one. And that Sunday, I took a boy that morning. He killed one. Then that evening, I killed a bird. And the opening weekend was good. And after that, they was henned up. You couldn't even fool with them.
Yeah, it's usually how it is here. It comes in so late that it's kind of tough sometimes.
Yeah, I I finally got tagged out this morning, but it was a grind. I was sad that tagged out. It was kind of a ambush hunt, but just how it worked out.
You you a mouth call guy or a pot call or
I like a good pop call, but I'm a mouth call guy. I like a diaphragm. I run one 90% of the time unless I'm locating birds. And if you get, but I mean, you'll see different birds. Like I've seen them that wouldn't gobble at a slate call or a mouth call, but you hit a box call and they just fire. Just depends on the bird and the day and kind of where I'm hunting. If I'm hunting big holler systems or river bottoms, a lot of times I'll run a slate, pot call, some glass, something that's real high pitched. But
yeah?
right around the house, if I once I get one struck and I know he's going to work, I run a straight diaphragm.
I have a glass call. I think it's an HS strut world champion something. I don't know what it is, but I had one in high school, and I could get turkeys to gobble to that when they gobble to nothing else. And I lost
That
it. I ended up losing it somehow, and I found one on eBay about a year ago, and I was able to pick it up, and I really like it.
I I like a glass. Of course, I'm ki- I just I'm a little lazy when it comes to maintenance on my calls, so I run an old slate pot. I had a guy in Campbellsville, Kentucky, which is about an hour and a half from me. I had him build it for me, and it's small, but it's thick, and it's got a glass soundboard, and it's real high pitched, and you can really get out there, and no one can hear you a long way with it.
Get you some distance with that. Yeah, they're loud. 12 gauge shotgun TSS, or does it matter?
I went, I till just a few years ago, I was just kind of old school. My uncle and dad both ran just old 870 Express Magnums, and my uncle hunted with an old Remington 1100 28-inch fixed modified, and he wouldn't shoot a bird over 25 steps. He just, but, and now, I mean, I run a same gun I coyote hunt with. It's a Benelli Super Black Eagle, and I shot that bird this morning at 60 yards, and I mean, it wasn't near as fun as calling one in, right to you, but it's just the way it worked out.
You guys allowed rifles in those states?
No, sir, no rifles during turkey season.
See, West Virginia allows rifles.
Yeah, that's what me and Ross Helmick was talking about that the other day, and he was giving me some heck because I run around with a strutter decoy with a real fan and wings on. And he said you get shot pretty quick around here with that
You
thing.
would.
So,
Yeah, you get shot right in the head,
yeah,
probably.
that'd be my luck.
I know some guys that do it, but I don't think I'd do it around here.
I just I want to get a bird as close as I can. I've had two or three this year come in just pretty and gobble their heads off and get to 65 yards and just sit there, and I've watched them walk off. I want them. This morning I was just kind of feeling pressured because I need to get some other people on some birds, so I'm shooting Rocky Ridge number nines out of that Benelli, and I knew he'd kill him, so I shot him. But my last three birds, I think the farthest one out of them three was like 14 steps.
Yeah, very cool, man. It's awesome. You ever go after them with a bow?
I've killed one longbeard with a bow, but I mean, of course, we can shoot them during deer season. Our fall turkey season. I've called and killed one with a bow. Just kind of slipped up on kind of another ambush thing. Seen him strut and crawled out in the field and set that strutter out and got to cackling and purring. Here he come, and I just leaned out, and shot him. So, it's fun, but it's kind of when you get a lot of times during the day, at midday period, they'll get out there on them flats and strut. And it's hard to do it with a bow because they'll come in, go to looking, they don't see something, they'll leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You decoy? You use decoys?
I have killed. I mean, my strutter decoy, we do some reaping. Of course, Tennessee, you're not allowed to use one, but Kentucky, we do. I call it reaping. You
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just a.
Yeah.
I've got a Mojo strutter. It's got clips on it, and I've got a real Jake fan and a real wings on it. Usually, if you find, you'll spook birds with them a lot of times by themselves. But if they've got hens or usually multiple birds, you show them that, and they will run you over. I've caught a couple Jakes doing it. It's pretty fun. So
You're close to that show they had down there, National Wild Turkey Federation show. Did you go to that?
yes, we go every year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Spend about $1 million, feels like, every time we go down there. But
Before we get off here, I want to ask you about whitetail hunting, that area. I know Kentucky has some slammers, and it's gotten, over the years, it's gotten better, and
oh yeah,
some big bucks in your area, I guess, huh?
there's a few. Not
But just
that's
I'm not
where I
saying your
get.
area, but let's just say the state of Kentucky is pretty good whitetail hunting,
There's
right?
some good ones in the state of Kentucky. Yeah, we around my house. I get I'm pretty picky about my deer because I don't deer hunt a lot. Of course, right then, when it starts, they're kind of coyotes are starting to disperse a little bit, and I'm trying to shotgun, so I get picky over my deer. But right around my house, once every 2 or 3 years, we'll have a pretty good deer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, every year you'll have a poping young deer. A bow book deer, but now you go 20 miles and then you get into every year you'll have consistent 50s 160s, and I killed a 169 and a half last year with a bow. But that's about all I do is bow hunt. I shot a deer with a rifle last year for the first time in 11 years. I'll shoot does, but as far as bucks, I hadn't shot one with a rifle in probably 11 or 12 years. I like to bow hunt. Actually, I got to shoot a coyote with my bow last year. Call it in and shoot it. That was pretty fun. But probably won't try to do that no more. I'll let Tori shoot him with his longbow. I let about 10 get away trying to shoot him with a bow. So yeah, he was in full velvet. I killed him opening day. Of course, we can only kill one buck in Kentucky, so I was one and done. So
Yeah, but that one's worth it.
oh, I wasn't disappointed. We went slaughtered coyotes that week.
I think we did pretty good, man. That was an hour. We're an hour and 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks for coming on, and thanks for all your information. And yeah, it was nice talking to you. And sorry it took so long to get settled down to where our schedules could coincide. But that's why I was like, finally, I was like, let me just put a time on it, and, and, and maybe we can do that.
That was my bad. Last week we was gonna try, and we were sitting there eating lunch, and my buddy pulled in at the house. He said there's four strutting in the field about 2 miles down the road on so and so's property. I'm like, let's go.
You better go.
We ended up we ended up killing two of them. So, and that was fun. But yeah, I'm glad we got to do it. I was looking forward to it. I'd been talking to Ross, and I was like, man, that'd be so cool. And he didn't even tell me nothing about it. He's
Uh,
just like, you're going to be on the podcast, and I'm like,
that's
I
awesome,
told
man.
him, I said, you're full of crap. But he said, no, he said, like, text him, and I'm like, no, I'm not messaging him. I was like, you're lying. And his wife's like, he's not lying. I was like, of course, I knew when she said something, she was telling the
Right.
truth. So. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad you came on. It was awesome. Yeah, I enjoy looking at your post on Facebook. All the stuff you post, man. You really hammer everything you hunt. Do a good job.
I try, man. I'm blessed to be able to do what I love. I mean, it's just it's a gift, from God. I mean, it's awesome, But yeah, I have some bunch of turkey posts coming out here soon, so you get to look at them. I ain't even gonna try to start doing that now. I've got so much crap on my phone to edit and do stuff. So
Yeah. So if anybody wants to follow you, you have Instagram or everything on Facebook.
I have Instagram and Facebook is probably the best thing. Of course, they can contact you or whatever if they want my Facebook, or just look me up, Isaac Smith. You'll find it. You'll see a picture of a coyote or deer or turkey, something pop up there. That'll be me.
That's Isaac Smith we're looking for, huh?
That's it. Yeah, brother. I appreciate it.
Yep. I thank you. And everybody, this was episode 9 of the Alpha Outside Podcast. Today we had Isaac Smith out of Kentucky, and I hope you enjoyed all of our talks and information, and thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, and until next time, thank you.
Outside Podcast. The dark ain't the end of the day. It's just the beginning. From expert tips and battle-tested optics to the kind of hunting wisdom you won't hear anywhere else, we've got you covered, and we hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, you can hit our website at www.alphaoutside.com, on Instagram at alpha_outside, on TikTok at alpha.outside, and on Facebook at Alpha Outside Thermal Hunting Users Group. From Morgantown, West Virginia, this is Alpha Outside, signing off.